you were just diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, I know it can be stressful. I know it can be, a bit shocking and maybe even some shame. I've been over the past 16 years helping people lose weight, get in shape, and also reverse their health concerns, whether it be type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, sleep apnea. I've helped people with all those different things through high performance lifestyle coaching. Okay. And so we're going to talk about if you just went to the doctor and they just told you the bad news, what you need to do to fix it. Okay. And so the first thing is this: it's not a life sentence. Okay. A lot of people don't realize, some people think that, oh, because of my family history, I'm going to have type 2 diabetes. But it doesn't matter your family history, it doesn't matter your age. This is a lifestyle related issue. Okay? This is a lifestyle disease. And so we fix these things. This is how we can fix your health circumstances. Okay? And so with that said, just know it's not a life sentence. You can completely reverse these things. Okay? What it is more so is a wake up call. It's your body giving you a red flag, saying to you, hey, listen, we've enjoyed our time in the kitchen. We've enjoyed ourselves outside and having fun with certain foods and maybe some alcohol and things like that. Maybe even not getting as much sleep as what you need. All these things can lead to the issues like pre or type 2 diabetes. Okay. And so this just, you need to take a reflection and take a moment to reflect back on what have your habits been leading up to this point. Because once we fix these habits, we fix what it's going to look like moving forward. Okay. There's this saying where they say, your lifestyle now will reflect your health later. Okay. And that's what typically happens to a lot of people. I have a couple of people in my family who just recently reached out to me over the past like month and a half, 2 months, mentioning it to me. They A1C is super high. Went to the doctor, have type 2 diabetes, and it's not just me helping my clients, but people in my family with these things. Okay, and over the past month and a half, one of them, their A1C is down from, she said her A1C was like 11.3 or something extremely high. And now it's at like the low 7.1, 7.2. Still kind of high. We need to get it even lower. But that just goes to show how quickly things can turn around if you make these things that I'm getting ready to share with you a priority. You have to be intentional with shifting these different things I'm getting ready to share with you. Okay. So that's the first thing. Just realize it's lifestyle. Most people think that it's just nutrition. That's what a lot of trainers and professionals will say, just nutrition. That is a big part of it. I'm going to break down how that works in a few minutes, but it's not just your eating habits. It's your stress, it's your sleeping patterns, it's how you're drinking water or not drinking water. Because what people, with me being a lifestyle coach, I have the awareness of how these things like sleep deprivation or being dehydrated affect your stress and your hormones that cause you to emotionally eat, that cause you to stress eat, that cause you to have sugar cravings. Okay. These are lifestyle related issues that affect our eating patterns. So this is important to be aware of. Okay. Uh, Next thing, we got to fix the root issue. We got to fix the root issue. A lot of times people think about medications and what they call like the insulin and the insulin shots and all these things. These things just manage symptoms. They don't fix it. We have to fix the root issue if you want to reverse type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes, whichever one you may have right now. And it's insulin resistance. Okay. I want to give you kind of like a visual. I want you to like just imagine what I'm getting ready to share with you. Okay. So we have an organ inside our body called the pancreas. And if we are eating a lot of refined carbs, a lot of sodas, a lot of sugary drinks like sweet teas and lemonades, things like that, bagels, waffles, croissants, things like that for breakfast, these things spike our insulin. Okay. Okay. These things spike our insulin. Our pancreas pushes insulin into our body whenever we have a lot of glucose in our body. Those foods that I just shared with you, they break down in our body as glucose. Okay. If we have a lot of glucose in our body, in our arteries, that's not being moved and stored somewhere, it can create havoc. Okay. For the lack of better words. Like it's people that pass away if their A1C and their blood glucose is just extremely high. There's people who go into diabetic comas. There's people who go blind. That these horror stories are real. I've talked to people on Instagram and on Facebook in my inbox, on my game plan calls. People losing toes, people losing feet, people having holes in their legs. These are real things that happen. But it doesn't have to get to that point if you're aware of how these things work. Okay. And so here's how it starts. A lot of people are eating foods like the ones I just shared. And so you have a lot of glucose that's getting pushed into your body, pushed into your system. And what your body is doing is storing. Insulin is trying to store that glucose somewhere, whether it be your muscle cells, or your liver cells. But over time, if the people who continue to eat the way and eating the types of foods I just shared with you, these starchy carb foods, these refined carbs, lots of pasta, lots of spaghetti, too much pizza, too much chips, crackers, things like that. What happens is your cells, like your muscle cells and your liver cells, they're full, they're saturated. And so now, as you continue to eat these foods, your pancreas is still pushing insulin into your body, but there's nowhere for the glucose to go. There's nowhere for it to go, guys. And this is where you start to develop insulin resistance. Okay. And your pancreas start producing it like it's supposed to. Okay. And so very important that you understand you can't eat like that all the time. Like, of course, we're going to eat foods like pasta. Guys, I'm still going to do it every now and then, like as a coach. But if you're doing it all the time, you find yourself in a bad situation. This is how a lot of people don't just develop type 2 diabetes, but they start to develop the big stomach. They're like, man, you know, I don't have a whole lot of weight on, but I just need to get rid of the stomach. That comes from stress inside your body. Okay? High glucose levels equals more stress, inflammation. That's why they call it the cortisol belly. Okay? Hormonal belly fat. You see somebody who just has all fat in their stomach, their hormones are off. Okay? Because of the way they've been eating. So we have to improve these things. Okay? And so how do we do that? There's certain foods that you can start to eat, lifestyle things as well, but foods that you can start eating. You want to start eating foods that are nutritionally dense. Most people eat a lot of foods that are low in nutrients, high in calories. Here's what I mean. The type of foods I just shared with you guys just a second ago. The croissants, the bagels, the frappuccinos, the pastas. You're eating things like that all the time, even alcohol. It all breaks down in our body's glucose. Okay, so we can't eat like that all the time. And so these types of foods, high in calories, low in nutritional value. Okay, they also call them like empty calorie foods. So we want to have more higher nutrient foods. Wild caught sockeye salmon, New York strip steak, chicken, eggs, egg whites, fruits that have seeds in them, green leafy vegetables. That way you have fiber. Okay. Fiber helps you regulate your blood sugar. Healthy fats like avocados helps you regulate your blood sugar. Eating protein helps you build muscle, burn fat, and also helps you regulate your blood sugar. But most people who are dealing with pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes or insulin resistance, they're eating way too much starchy carbs, like the foods I just shared. Okay. And so we want to make that fix. Okay. Make that fix with your nutrition. Instead of drinking the sodas, drink sparkling water. Simple fixes. Okay. And the next thing, you got to develop a system. A lot of you guys are very smart. You have great careers, excelling in your career. I was just talking to a guy literally a couple of minutes ago, 6-figure career. has type 2 diabetes. Like, guys, just because you're climbing in your career, you're excelling in your career, that doesn't mean you need to neglect your health and just like use chasing success as like a cope to avoid that little ugly monster in the corner. Guys, you got to fix the issue and you fix the issue with systems. The reason you guys are excelling in your career is because you have systems. They call them SOPs, standard operating procedures. You have a system what you do right before you start your shift. You have a system on what you do during your shift. You have a system on what you do when you finish. That gives you structure. Okay? When you have structure, that breeds consistency. When you have consistency, that breeds consistent progress and momentum. Okay? We have to do the same thing with your health and your lifestyle. It requires no more discipline than the discipline that you already have in your career. It doesn't. You're already disciplined. You're not lazy. You just lack structure. You need structure and systems with your lifestyle when it comes to your health, your wellness, okay? Your nutrition, your physical activity. That way you can lose this weight, build muscle, get in control of your health and your energy, and you don't have to stress, okay? Super important. I see a couple of y'all commenting. I'm gonna address y'all's comments once I finish. Okay, I don't want to break up the info. Um, so when it comes to structure, a couple of things you want to think about. A lifestyle, what I do when I'm helping my coaching clients, I'm helping them build a lifestyle. And when you focus on lifestyle and not just weight loss, this is how you get results and keep them. If you've ever seen anybody who's like lost weight and they gained all that weight back, they were just focused on weight loss. They did something, they stopped doing it, gained the weight back. That's no good. When you develop a lifestyle that you can sustain long term, this is how you lose weight by default because it's your lifestyle. You have certain habits within your lifestyle that allow for you to have energy, that allow for you to lose weight, that allow for you to build muscle. All right. I see some great comments. I'm going to answer y'all's comments and questions in just a second. Um, and so you got to get all these things, all these ducks in a row. How many hours at night are you sleeping? Because if you're not sleeping enough, you're sleep deprived. When you're sleep deprived, studies show people who are sleep deprived tend to eat more food, tend to have sugar cravings, tend to stress eat. And most times when we're stress eating, we're not stress eating on healthy food. We're stress eating on ice cream, cake, chips, cookies, pizza. These are all the things that fuel pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes. It's rough. And so here's what you got to do. You got to focus on managing your sleep. Make sure you got getting good rest. Other thing, hydration. If you're dehydrated, of course you're gonna have you're gonna have this brain fog. You're gonna feel mentally foggy. You're gonna be tired. You're gonna be sluggish. You know, you're not gonna have as much energy. Even myself, if I'm just drinking caffeine all day and no water, eventually it's gonna have like a rebound effect. Like I'm not gonna have the energy that I thought I should have had from the caffeine because I'm not hydrated. Nothing replaces water, guys. You gotta drink water. Okay. And then the last thing is you have to have structure around, well, two more things. You have to have structure around not just what you're eating, but how much of it you eat. Because you can eat too much healthy food. Crazy it sounds like this, crazy to say this, but you can eat too much healthy food in a day or in a meal, and it can spike your blood sugar, even though it's healthy. Okay. And when that happens, if you're stuffing yourself and not eating just to be satisfied and comfortable, that can cause insulin resistance. Okay. This is why it's important to know your calorie intake, your protein intake, your fiber intake. This gives you structure. This is how my coaching clients are dropping 40, 50, 60 pounds in 6 months. Coaching clients dropping 80 to 100 pounds in a year. Like they're not like going crazy doing bodybuilder workouts. It's the nutrition. Like nutrition, food is healing when you do it the right way. Medication manages symptoms. Proper nutrition fixes it. Then the last thing, exercise. A lot of people look at like hitting the gym as just kind of like, I want to look good. I want to build muscle. I want to have definition. I want a flat stomach. I want to have abs. And that's cool. It's a place for that. But a lot of trainers and coaches don't talk about the health effects of lifting weights, managing your stress, okay? Managing your blood sugar. Like when you hit the weights the right way, it's going to help you regulate your blood sugar, regulate your glucose. This is why you need to be hitting the weights. You can't just do cardio. Hitting the weights and building muscle is going to help you regulate your blood sugar, okay? Even doing cardio. After eating a meal, you can go for a 10 or 15-minute walk. It's going to help you regulate your blood sugar. The lifestyle is what fixes the issues, okay? Once you start to fix these things, I'm telling you, you can come out in the next couple of weeks, couple of months, A1C all the way down, fully healthy, clean bill of health. You have more energy than what you know what to do with, uh, flat stomach, and you have your confidence back and your peace of mind. That way you're not stressing and worrying. Because this guy who I just recently spoke to, he's like a local truck driver making six figures. And as a truck driver, your health has to be at a certain place. Otherwise, they won't let you drive because you're driving a huge machine that could like wreak havoc on people's lives if the person driving it isn't healthy. And so you don't want to allow, or should I say, don't allow your health to destroy and ruin or collapse the success that you build in. Like a lot of you guys, y'all work so hard to accomplish the success that you have in your life and and where you're going, in your career and with your family, people who are dependent on you. Don't allow something as simple as type 2 diabetes to ruin it. It's all lifestyle related. You fix your lifestyle, you fix your health. Okay. I'm going to answer these questions real quick. Let's see what you guys are saying in here. Consistently persisting in poorly structured programs is worse than doing spur of the moment. There you go. Persistence is everything. You got to have structure. Smart, thinking in the right direction. I eat roughly 180 pizza rolls a week. Should I increase the amount to That's somebody trolling. YouTube. Some of you guys on YouTube are I don't know. No, I don't know what to say about you guys. What's up, brother? Just here. Do say you rock. Have a great day. Know you deserve only the best. Keep doing what you're doing. You're awesome. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. George said this handsome guy yapping. I received that as well. I appreciate that too. When you take care of yourself, you have both men and women saying you look handsome and you're taking care of yourself. Anyway, daily quotes, I appreciate it. Other than that, if you feel like you need some help, you want some structure. You don't want to waste time with trial and error. You don't want to waste money with trial and error. Like, get a professional. You want a professional who can lay out a plan that fits your lifestyle, your goals, your situation. I'll drop a link down in the description so you can learn more about coaching with me. All right. Other than that, guys, we are out of here. Let's get it.